So while Alex has been trying really hard and succeeding in making the chat super powerful, I've been trying to work on the rest of the experience that gets you to go to the chat and do stuff. Um, I'm here in an incognito window as a new user, and there's some changes that got in this morning and some changes that we shipped yesterday for the new UI UX. And there's also been changes since I've asked feedback from everyone, so maybe not everyone's seen the latest version. But basically, I think what is important for us is to get people to sign up, to get people to upload their data or connect their data, and to get people to chat with that so they can get the maximum usefulness from Alex's powerful chat features that are coming. And some important parts of that are also being able to know what you're talking to and to like manage loads of data if you're talking with loads of data. So as a new user, the new experience is this. You're coming into Storytell, and I'll accept feedback if we do like or don't like what's happening here. But we've simplified the prompt bar scope into just saying how many sources and what search, if you have web search enabled or not. And then clicking on this doesn't do anything. It just highlights this panel because this is the sources panel. When you're a new user, you're just encouraged to just get started, like upload stuff, connect stuff. Once we enable Google Drive, it's going to be allowed here, but when you're signed out, when you're an anonymous user, clicking on it will open a modal that asks you to sign up to use Google to connect Google Drive. And you can choose if you're going to be able to, if you will allow Storytel to use web search or not. And assuming I'm convinced by this panel here and I upload one file, the experience changes a little bit into what most people will see when they have knowledge in Storytel, which is they have the chat on the left, they're in a project, and they have the chat sources on the right in this panel, which can be hidden if it's in the way or can be opened. And this is hopefully a way that makes it easier for people to know what they're chatting with when. So all of the information that you need to know about what the chat is pulling from is on this panel right here. You know, you're talking to the Venus Wikipedia PDF selected. You see one source here. I need to remove the S actually. And you can see there's a plus web, so you know web search is enabled. I can toggle it if I don't want it to go and pull stuff, and I can ask it to summarize it, for example, for now. And it's taking a while. Okay. Other things you can do from this panel is to explore your data just a little bit. So you can go kind of like cross-reference stuff if you need to, or you've seen that before when you get citations from data, you can click into the citations and see it on the right side. And you can, no, I'll stop here for now with the side panel. There's also, we've tried to kind of make it more clear where you are, and we've tried to make the navigation bar here on the left side be more of a main navigation place rather than how it was before. So all of the actions you do here more or less are main navigation. So clicking on projects takes you to a projects page where you see your projects. I only have one project. I'm signed out, so trying to do anything with projects will ask me to sign up. You can start a new chat. You can go to your assets page, and here you're going to see something similar to the chat sources. But when you're navigating from this side, you're more in a data management mode rather than a chatting mode. You can still start chats from this side here. And there's a few bugs I need to fix with the prompt still being in the prompt bar after you submit. But there's now kind of like a distinction between being in the main panel doing stuff, and then you sometimes have secondary actions opening on the side panel. I'm trying to cover a lot of ground quickly, so I'm sorry if I'm jumping all over the place. one more thing I wanted to mention was we're trying to make it's more clear where you are in the app at all times. So we have this breadcrumbs bar. There's been some feedback that it's not apparent enough that you're in a project and which project you're in. So we might need to iterate on this and make it more clear. But you're generally in, let me open like an asset. You see kind of where you are. Like I'm in projects, in my first project, in the assets, in this specific asset. So you have a more of an idea of what's happening. But I think the most important change is actually having the chat sources on the right as you're chatting, and as you're opening new old chats, you can see which ones you are chatting when you open them. And I'm gonna open one where I have multiple. Let me see if I have a say. So here, for example, I've asked what is this file with this specific file. So now the chat sources, it's just this highlighted because that's what I'm chatting with right now in this specific chat. And if I want to open a citation, I can to cross-reference. I can go back to chat sources and just kind of like makes it easier to kind of navigate through your knowledge, but with a focus on the chat experience. All right, floor is open. That was a little bit of everything, but I'm hoping this might make it clear to more people what's going on with why you're chatting with